Welcome to the OVAReact podcast.
And in a society that puts women in a box,
let's overreact indeed. It's your girl Lash Angela.
And it's your girl Momo Hoya. And we have a beautiful guest in the house. You can say who you are.
My name is Florence Yula, and I'm director at Women in Tech Kenya.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're excited. We can't wait to have a conversation with you. Thank you, overreactors, for joining us once again. We also want to thank Lockwood Furniture, who've set us up with this beautiful set that we've got going on here. And if you don't know, that we do actually have ongoing podcasts and ongoing episodes that you can catch up with. If you've missed previous episodes, you can listen to them via www.sisterspeaksglobal.org and check out our podcast list. And you can also watch them via Capital FM YouTube channel. What else
Definitely,
have we got?
and any other podcast platforms out there, Spotify, Google, and catch up with us. And in case you'd like to hear us on radio, we are coming to you every last Wednesday of the month. We have an OVAReact hour with your host, the beautiful Anne Maura, which happens on The Fuse. We talk about everything women, what's trending, and of course we vibe with the all-female list, music, and we get to talk about women and girls. So make sure that you tune in every last Wednesday of the month. And of course, follow us on our socials and see what's happening.
Yes, at Sister Speaks 254, our Overreact podcast on Instagram. Let's interact. And even as you watch this episode, please share in your comments below about anything that we've talked about. So welcome to the show.
Yes, and how are you feeling? We always start with, vibe check.
Out of 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
I'd say 9.
Yeah. Well, you look like a 9.
You look like a
10 out of 10.
Yeah, and you smell like a 10 over 10.
Thank you.
Minus
Thank
nothing.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I think I'm an 8.5. I had a migraine earlier, but I think, the vibe, I'm excited about the conversation. Thank you. And, we're going to be discussing something that is very close to my heart. So
yes,
probably by the end of this conversation, I'm going to be at 10.
Okay.
10.
I love it. I love it. I'm 11.
Girl.
Yeah,
hey.
I'm off the scale. That's how I'm operating today.
Nice. You've always been on the lower side at the times.
Yes.
And today you are at 11.
I'm off the scale.
What happened?
But I'm even though I feel 11 out of 10, my body's not 11 out of 10. I feel tired, but I always like to tell myself, don't wear the face of adversity.
Yes.
So today I'm wearing the face of an 11.
Ooh,
yeah.
Awesome. We always start
Love
off our conversation by asking our guests to share something interesting, an interesting fact about yourself, something people don't know, and they'll be like, oh, Yula. Yeah.
No, I guess a few people probably know. I try to read about 52 books a year.
What?
So one every week. And it's because I grew up introverted. No,
What?
Let me explain.
I feel challenged.
I grew up introverted. Just in my room reading books. When relatives would visit, something is wrong with this. But that's where my love for books came from.
So how much have you read this year? Because we're almost halfway through.
Yeah.
I know. I'd have to go back to my list.
Okay.
I
feel
but I've not been
challenged.
very consistent. This year has been pretty hectic work-wise, and we launched Women in Tech, so that has also been, taking a bit of my time. But yeah, I'm hoping I've not lost too much.
Yeah.
What's the biggest book you've read? In
No
your spare
Harari
time?
books.
How many pages?
I don't know the number, but they're pretty thick, and then the writing is like very
Tiny.
and it's history, but I just love his style of writing. It's simplified in a way that is engaging and that gives me a break from all the African literature that sometimes likes to focus on women are suffering. Sometimes I'm like, no, I don't want to read some history.
Yes.
Talking
and
about
his books are
women.
very they're very it's like reading Jordan Peterson's book, because it's very deep thinking.
Absolutely,
his
he's
books.
someone
Not
that
bad.
he's someone that I would want to host for dinner sometime. Like, let me just pick your brain on. He covers everything from like Stone Age all the way to AI.
Amazing. Fantastic. I think the biggest I've read recently is The Women Who Ran with the Wolves. It's so
I've seen it.
intimidating. It's so big. And then they use different languages, Mexican, Spanish. And then they go back to their ways, old Stone Age ways. So they have the names for these specific rituals. So you have to kind of go back and was like, what was that? What was that? But it's such an interesting book.
But what do you think? Sorry, I have a follow-up question
yeah.
on that. Because I've also read Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. And it's a conversation or a discourse that we were having amongst where the women in tech hang out. And we just, how do you maintain your softness as a woman and still be that,
The girl who cut.
It's
who runs
interesting
with the
with the
wolves.
wolves. Yeah. So it's actually anchored on how, I think we also had this conversation, how women are trained to be something else for the society and not to be something for themselves. So I'm alternating the book, The Women Who Run with the Wolves and the Perfection Trap. So many women, especially in African context, we are socialized to be perfect, not for you, but perfect for the other person. Either for your husband, for the society, cross your legs. We don't shout, but the book calls you to awaken the voice within you. That voice could be how many parts of you were buried as a result of, just this box that society has, calling back those facets of you and embracing your archetypes and basically living as a woman and not what the society has trained you to be.
Because it takes time to unlearn.
Exactly. And it's perfect combination. The perfection trap. I'm a recovering perfectionist. So, yes, I am.
No, I'm not
She was not
laughing.
fully
I'm
recovered.
laughing at the term. I'm
Yes,
a recovering perfectionist.
So if it's not 100%, I would send it, and probably I'll miss out on so many opportunities. And
Because you take too long.
Like it has to tick perfect. So you find that every activity calls for urgency. It calls you to act fast. Because there's someone else who probably, if you come up with an idea, someone is like, oh, I'm not going to wait when it's 100%. I'm going to go. So by the time my perfection sort of like wavelength is reached, someone is already,
the opportunity is gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So it's calling me
trap.
like, it's a trap. Yeah. I would love every woman to just read that book. Both of them, I feel like they're perfect.
Here's a term for you. Imperfection is imperfection.
Okay. I am perfection.
Yeah.
That's a good reframing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope that changes you.
Awesome. Thank you. Great. Okay, that was a tangent.
Right?
Yeah,
but
let's
that
come
was
back to
good.
the conversation.
That was good that
Yeah.
we were able to even break the ice and kind of get to know each other.
Right.
You didn't. So the interesting fact is that you read 52 books, 52
year.
books
Oh yeah.
a year. I'm challenged, and will I take on that challenge? I'll get back to you.
I want to know, did you finish The Sapiens?
No, I didn't enjoy it.
Like I knew. Seriously?
I loved it.
I look at it every time. I'm like, I got stuck in the middle. I was like, and somebody told me, if you can't finish a book, don't force it. Just leave it. Means it wasn't written for you.
It's not resonating
So
for you at that
but
point.
I like his deep thinking and how he writes and how his thought process. I appreciate that, but I'm not the TA. It's there.
So
Look at it.
I got into his work because I went through a period where I was obsessed with psychological history. Like, why do we behave the way
We do.
Yeah. So I was just So to me,
Yes. That's why I bought it, because I'm also always curious about the mind. And if I was to go back to school, I was thinking about this today. I would do psychotherapy because I think in my next phase of life would be to help women and tap into their potential better. But I need to be better at comprehending the mind from a science point of view as well.
Yeah.
And even the semantics behind how we think, the way we think and why we do the things that we do.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I bought it. And everyone kept recommending. My mentor recommended. My ex-boyfriend recommended. I was like, okay, I appreciate their minds. I'll go read it. I've read it. I was like, yeah, I'm struggling. just put it down. Maybe one day I'll touch it. So it's just there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
pick it, you dust it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. So we are excited to have you. For those who don't know, I'll just do a quick plug. So we have an event entity called Hills Connect. And last year we did a series called Women in Tech, which was inspired by AI Appreciation Day, which happens in July 16th. And for us, for those who don't interact with what we do, we really believe in trying to empower the women's minds to be able to see themselves as people who can sit in these rooms, sit in boardrooms, achieve what they need to achieve. And even if the environment is not a reflection of how they look, whether they're African, whether they're Black, whether they're female, whether they're young, we want to change that and bring those who are in those spaces to show them that it is possible. That once upon a time, I was also sat where you were sat. And so we have our second series of the Women in Tech. Mo, tell us what to expect in the event.
So this year we're doing it very differently, involving different partners. We have tracks from a keynote speaker. We all want you as an enthusiast or someone who's trying to break into tech to see or to hear, first-hand stories of women who have made it. Yes. In the world of tech. That could be in tech leadership, because last year we had Catherine Moraga. She's there, the MD for Microsoft ADC Center, Microsoft Fast Engineering Hub in East Africa. So she shared her story, her trajectory. So you can imagine the caliber of women who are going to be there. We also have different tracks from cybersecurity, data science. We have AI, and this time we have partnered with Women in Tech, and that's why we have Yula in the house. So they're going to do an AI track where we're looking at the AI value chain. What can we innovate through AI? How can we, include the girls at the university level, someone who is coming up into, the world of tech and creating more opportunities within the AI for women. Yes. Yeah, because we don't want to be 15 years down the line. We're like, let's fight for women and girls to be in the AI. It's right now. It's ripe, and we are super excited to have you. Perhaps now you can plug in, who you are at scale. A Pan-African rocking this beautiful. Fun fact: I knew she's gonna be looking like this, and that's why I put my African, mumu, sophisticated mumu.
Sophisticated,
yes, because she's always sophisticated. So tell us, who is Yula, your role at Women in Tech, and other stuff that you do, and then we can get from there.
Sure. So I'm a Pan-Africanist. Yes. I think you can already tell.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a venture capitalist as well. I work to drive investments from the Nordics and the larger European, larger Europe into Africa through an organization called Remod. And I'm also the partnerships director at Women in Tech, where we work to empower women and girls. Our focus mostly being in rural Kenya and the slum areas, so that no woman is left behind as we advance in the digital economy. I also work to drive investments in women-led startups through Women in Tech. But nice. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. You have this tagline, being audacious and moving without shame. Oof. Tell us more about that. And invite every woman to move with audacity.
I think I already, mentioned that I grew up introverted.
Yes.
And also being Kenyan, we have the socialization, where we are mostly passive-aggressive. We're not very open about how we feel, or, we just generally as a people, that's not us. In my career, I got an opportunity to live in West Africa. They're super different from us. I lived in Lagos, well, in and out, and in Accra as well for about 5 years.
Wow, and that's a long time.
Right. One thing they're not is passive aggressive. Like if I'm angry at you, I will let you know that I'm not happy.
Straight up.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I had to get used to it. When you're used to just people going around.
Yes.
Yes. I had to get used to it, and I saw the importance of just being clear in your communication. Like if you ask me for something that, I can do this, but I'm not able to do this.
Yeah.
Right. That also encouraged me to, I'm now not afraid of shooting my shot for opportunities.
Yes.
I see someone on LinkedIn, I will reach out.
I support that
and I'll tell you,
message.
this is what I do. This is what this is what I'm looking for. And I came out of my shell a lot. Like I came into my own in West Africa. I didn't know that there's this side of me that was just laying dormant.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm pretty excited about how far this new outgoing personality, being audacious, is gonna take me.
It can take you far.
Absolutely.
Audacious favors the bold. Yeah. Once you're audacious, you'll always find favor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're in that sector, there's not many women in BC world. We see it very white, male dominated, but kudos for, making your mark with your Pan-African outlook and of course approach, and then being the director at Women in Tech, a chapter of the Women in Tech Global. So talk to us about that umbrella and how they drive tech and opportunities for women.
So the global entity already exists, and this year we officially launched the Kenyan chapter with a friend that I actually met while I was in Lagos. She was also building her career in tech. And, hi, Lucy. Shout out to you. And so we partner with with people that have capabilities to for capacity building in tech, because how we thought around it is the aim is to ensure that women are included in the digital economy.
Yes.
And it's simple things like why don't we have a lot of funding going into female-led businesses? In Africa, most 60% of SMEs are owned by women, but they can't scale as much because everything is so manual. So they're not included in the digital economy. And you have others now automating processes and whatnot. So how do we get these women to move from manual processes into automated processes and into AIs? How do they tap into that if they don't have the means? And so we partner with people that have the capacity to provide trainings in data analytics, in AI, in cybersecurity. And then we partner with people that can do job placements, right? And then partner with funds that can drive investments into these women-led businesses as well. I'm not going to lie that we have a clear path. But even if this year alone, we just empower 10 women, to me, that would be very fulfilling, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. And as you are progressing and even starting out, and the fact that maybe you also have experience in both the West African sphere and then, of course, East African sphere, like when you look at structure, cultural barriers, what do you see that could even affect not just women in tech? You also said you are in the space for funding. How do they look like? And I always like to say, where good exists, evil exists, right? So in terms of what we're talking about, where opportunities exist, there are challenges that also exist. So what opportunities do you think women are missing out because they're not looking for them or don't know how to pick them out? And in the same button, what's the other challenges that they should be cognizant that they will endure, and to just, because you were talking about being audacious, and so of course sometimes some people, I remember once, like there's a friend who she has an English surname, and she got a job interview, and they assumed. They were
that's on
shocked.
LinkedIn, people don't put their photos there. They don't want people to know that they're.
They were shocked.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're like, I don't want to say her name.
Yeah.
But they're like, you're
Rude shock. Yeah.
And I've thrown so much at you. But.
Yeah. No, so I've definitely seen it. When female founders walk into a room and there's just a bunch of male investors looking at you, it can be very intimidating, right? What do I say? They look, I think there's a new term for them now, high value. It's like, how these people exposed? How do I? But they're founders just like you, because it's not their money. I think I was explaining what the VC model is like. They're fundraised from someone else, and then they deploy this money.
Right.
Right? They just have that mandate.
Yes.
So that's the first thing you need to understand. They are founders just like you.
Yes.
And number two, I feel that women sometimes don't see their own potential
and their value that they can bring to the table. Right?
I was talking to a woman who's in C-suite, and she doesn't go for this. I'm like, I'm talking to you right now, and you just explained what the business is, and I understood it, but there's always that fear that and it does you miss out on a lot of opportunities because there's a lot of support also for women out there, and it's really up to us to just tap into these existing opportunities. Sometimes we can call it, we have scholarships available for women up to 80%. People don't show up. People don't. Just whether you feel you've qualified, whether you feel like
isn't that
qualified,
program?
I had a
She had a program that's it actually says, I don't want to say the name of it, but it said women, for women. Men applied, and they now had to include men.
Adjust the programming and all the activities to include men.
Yeah.
Like it said women in Horn of Africa, not men, and men, 0. But it's probably 30% of the cohort or even more was men.
So women, these are the opportunities are there. But what I'm hearing, the biggest challenge is ourselves. We limit our
socialization
as well. And our limiting our minds.
So what we've now opted to do is maybe design programs with this in mind. So if someone is a mom, they have to handle before they come for the hackathon. How do we accommodate this? Just put out a call.
Yes. Even the times that you do the courses, especially if they're virtual.
Yeah, absolutely. So even with the slum areas, we were like, we just want go there and do it. Let's partner with people like with organizations like Shofco who understand what their needs are.
Yes.
And that way we can provide the value that they need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes sense.
Do you have a woman who's put herself out there and she's a success story of just, boldly just, tell the world what you're doing? And I know you're such a big fan of business storytelling. Maybe from a VC standpoint, what do we need to rethink when we're telling us our stories around business? And how do we also reframe our risk averseness? Because so many women have had more no's than yeses. So you also tend not to put yourself out there. But I also don't know what backs that no or that risk averseness. Is there like a research around that? Why?
So I'll start. So the person that I would say that I really appreciate how, I appreciate her story so much is Viola Davis. And she's not afraid to be vulnerable, and I understand she had to do the work before she could get to that point where people can see this other side of her. I've read her book, I think, twice now. Yeah. And I was just in awe of how much she had to overcome to be where she is now. And it felt like it's taking time, but she finally got there. And a lot of them get that breakthrough at an age where we feel like I'd be too
too old.
Yeah. But that's when their breakthrough comes. That's when you're I don't want to say mature enough, but that's when you've grown enough. That's when you've learned your lessons. You've been there, done that.
God, sorry.
I think she's one person that I really, really admire.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw in this time and women conversation where we disqualify ourselves too soon. And then, 40 sort of like sunset years. And that's when the break comes in.
I've never heard that before.
What? The society looks, African society. When you're 40, we have no use for you. Sunset. Yeah,
that's when I'm
sunset
rising.
Is beautiful.
That's a good attitude to have.
Yeah. Tell us more.
It's also a conversation that I had with another career woman, and she has 3 kids, and she admitted that she feels that the kids really like delayed her. You know, it's like, no, but maybe you just started from this side and then you work your way back on it. Like I don't think there's a linear or there's like a straightforward way of doing these things. Yeah. Again, it's maybe unlearning that oh, this is the this is the timeline that I need to follow. Again, our socialization is you go to school, finish school, settle down, and then you the way you work your way up is, I start as an intern, and then I just like, you've not accounted for maybe setbacks. So like for us, COVID happened, went a whole 2 years without much traction. You have to factor in. So if I want to have kids, then have I provided an allowance for that as well? If I'm going to settle down, what will the expectations be, and how do I? But I don't think it's all linear, and there won't be any setbacks, there won't be any rejections. Those will be there. But it's just I truly believe if you just keep at it, like you can't be unfortunate every single day.
Fact. So you both your worlds, and the VC world and even the tech world can be very male dominated. What is it? Let's talk the positives. What is it that you've picked from the guys from like now when it comes to business and the way they think when it comes to investments and risks and stuff? What can we pick from that? And then from like even the tech aspect, what can we learn from men in those spaces to thrive just as they are thriving?
So they don't carry any emotional baggage at the office.
Okay.
For them, it's just strictly
logic.
Business. When an investor says no, just on to the next investor
instead of dwelling. Why did they pick me? That's true. A lot. Women we do that.
I think it steals your momentum.
It does.
And one time, we had a team meeting, and in a lot of these teams, I could be the only babe, or there's maybe 2 other babes, and they asked something around just around career. I can't remember the exact question, but my response was, sometimes because we fundraise sometimes from NBA players, NFL players, just a high value. So I was like, sometimes, when I'm in these rooms with these people, I can't believe that, and then this guy is like, I don't feel anything. I just feel that I deserve to be in that room.
So I like that. So another affirmation is, I deserve
to be in that room.
Feel that you belong. You wouldn't be in that room if you didn't have the credibilities. Right? Yes, the qualifications, the confidence. You're in that room because you deserve it.
You deserve to be there.
I like that. I like that. And when it comes to how they view money and how they like from an investment point of view,
it's just a commodity for them. If they lose it, they're just I'll make some more.
That's why they're such risk takers, eh? Now I see that mindset. I get it. Like if they fall, they just get up, keep on running.
Even like at when we have investment committees, I'm like, why are we investing in this? But for them, they've already like seen the layers. Like, no, maybe we want access to this. That's why we're investing. Like, even if it doesn't bring a return, this is what we're targeting. Like, why are we investing in NBA Africa? It's not like African teams generate any revenue. Like, we are trying to target NBA players for fundraising. So, the ones abroad, so
who want to invest back into the continent.
So and they will know how to justify it to a limited partner.
Amazing. So like there's a lot of words that I've been catching: limited partner, VC, fund managers, or anyone who basically want to understand how that world works. And it doesn't I think this is how the VC world looks like to me. Very ash gray suit, white crepes, sleek Swarovski, Swarkov, that glue
that's
for
actually,
white men.
That's actually private equity guys and investment bankers.
Okay, tell us more.
VC as a model,
So
the way it
the
started.
finance guy is not 6 foot, blue eyes, blonde hair.
So no, those are the proper finance bros.
Not
Those
always
are the,
feet.
those are the investment bankers and the private equity guys. So how VC started? VC started in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Right. When big tech companies were coming up. And then these founders now started setting up, pooling funds and investing in other smaller tech companies. And tech bros, they're not very stiff. And it's now that VC is changing into this, you need to have an MBA from Harvard before you can make partner. But back in the day, it was just those tech founders who dropped out of school, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
But how it works is that a fund manager or a VC partner will fundraise from what we call limited partners. These could be from the US, from institutions, or it could be from philanthropies. It could be from family offices, right? So they do that in the US and in Europe and in Africa sometimes. And your limited partner can also be your friend. Right, if that's your model, you can just be like, give me like 5K USD to that can also be a limited partner. It doesn't have to be like a proper institution. It can just be literally anyone else. While I was at Microtraction, we had a separate fund, which was founders that have already made it can now pool funds and invest in the startups that are coming up. And that for us was for continuity, so that the ecosystem has continuity. You guys know what's happening with all these executive orders that the West is churning out day in, day out, which is affecting, funding access.
Yes.
There's a tectonic plate shift.
Yeah. So if we have more African founders investing in the ones that are coming up, there will be continuity.
Then we don't need to rely abroad.
Outside
In
funds,
fact, they will now be begging us to take their funding. There's the School of Hard Knocks, School of what's that guy on TikTok?
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. So he interviewed a older white gentleman, and he said the smart thing to do right now is actually invest in Africa. Africa is where everyone is heading to. It's I think one of his most watched videos, and and it's then what people should be getting from this conversation is that if you have the money and you have the will and the ability, invest in your continent. Like if you are in Africa, if you're an African person, invest, because if that person is saying that, imagine how many he's not speaking as himself. He is speaking for a lot of people of his race,
his world,
his gender, and his world.
Yeah. And how I see it is we're the ones that understand what our problems are. And so it would be easier for us to invest in proper solutions, not them coming in and telling us, no, I think this is what the solution should be.
The power of lived experience, the power of your own pain point. Because you're designing from a human-centered point of view. And now that brings me to, everything that's happening now is very tech-enabled driven. From your world, VC, are people really... Is that where the money is going? Tech innovations?
Unfortunately, because 60% of funding goes to fintech. Just fintech.
Right.
60%.
That's
even though
a
we've
huge percentage.
Even though we've not even fixed cross-border payments, I can't send money to Tanzania. Just Tanzania can't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And 60% of that's why I said we need to fund solutions that we know will work for us, because we understand what the problems are. And
we can fix it to suit the African context. I remember like when our mobile money app,
I wanted to add that
was quite popular here. There's a bank app in UK that tried to borrow that concept. I just don't want to name the names. It didn't pick up because abroad it's card system, right?
It already works for them.
Card system works, and that's why the phones, our brand phones, are now implementing their version of our mobile money by putting the pay system.
So that's what I wanted to add. SMEs are still the key to unlocking Africa's middle class. That's no doubt about it.
Love it.
And so we just have to maybe define what tech means for Africa. Because I don't expect my social to download an app.
Zero.
Right? And the reason why M-Pesa worked is because it was very simple, very primitive tech. Right? It's just USSD code. Simple as that. You sent money to whoever you need to send money to. Yeah. But if you now insist that no, in the US they're using apps. So all of us have to use apps.
Yeah.
No. And there's someone that pointed this out recently. It will always seem like we're playing catch up. It always seems like Africa is always playing catch up because we're trying to copy what they're doing. We're not doing what works for us. So it doesn't look good on us because we're still trying to play catch up.
Don't emulate, innovate.
Absolutely.
Mic drop. Yes.
Yes. There's a guy I love. He has a very interesting way of decolonizing us with his content on LinkedIn. He's like, so you're doing all these big summits, big words, say Africa's time is now, and then take a selfie, and then what?
What's the impact?
This week, just a time, I think last month, I had an opportunity to be in a room where there was like the gender lens investing conversation on women. Women's health was very much at the center, and there was a big fund coming up. But if you look at, I was an innovator inside that room, but no one, like I got only two ears. Like, I had my elevator pitch ready, and I was like, if you're launching something like this, why are you not, even the panel, there were no innovators who would ideally
idea.
Yeah, or telling you like this is what I need, or giving you their perspective. Like, yes, this is a beautiful fund. This has worked for us. This will not work for us. So there was not that voice on the...
Just vibes.
It's just vibes.
And inshallah.
Girl, vibes and inshallah. And I'm sure you've seen that happen
Absolutely.
a lot. Yeah.
And I was even in a meeting this morning because we're working on an investor tour for Nordic investors. Again, to address the funding gap that has now been left by the executive orders from the US. And yes, we need Africans to start investing in our own products and whatnot, but we're not there yet. So what do we do in the interim? So like, okay, let's face the Nordics, because they don't want to miss out on Latin America. They don't want to miss out on, the way they missed out on Latin America, the way they missed out on Asia, they don't want to miss out on Africa again. But where do I start from? That's their question. So a lot of the approach that people use is governments. And let's be honest, like they will do the same thing. Like just photo ops, done. After that,
inshallah,
there's no follow-ups.
Big
right?
news release. That's it.
And it's I think it's up to the private sector to now maybe fix this and make sure that there's actual impact. And so we've decided that on the day of that event, it's term sheets that will be signed. You're not there to pitch up. You've already spoken to them. You're there to sign a term sheet, and you get your investment, and that's it. That way, there's tangible, there's
it's vision into
exactly.
action.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're right. And speaking, okay, we've already addressed that you're gonna from Women in Tech angle, you're gonna be coming as partners. What are some of the things you're gonna bring to the event that can help with that aligned with what we're discussing in terms of mind shift, in terms of vision into action, in terms of like, cool, I've got the skills, I've gone to these courses. How do maybe I need a little bit of a push financially to implement?
So with the AI hackathon, we want to tap into our student community for that. We need to be part of that narrative being shaped for AI as a continent.
Absolutely.
We're already not even part of the conversations. We go to a lot of these breakfast meetings, and then they're like, so who are we going to face? Will we face China, or we don't have our own narrative?
The geopolitics are...
we don't even have a say. Like we have to choose who we're going to face. And so it's very important for us to be part of that dialogue, let people understand whether you're 20, 30, 40, you need to understand. don't wait 14 years. Like, how do we now include women? Or AI is now a thing. How do we now include women?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're also gonna have a mini demo day.
Oh, nice.
Where female founders will get a chance to pitch and get valuable feedback and possibly funding as well.
Yeah.
Again, like I'd mentioned before, unlocking capital for women is also very important to us.
Yeah. I like that, the fact that they will also get value feedback. So sometimes the money can be good, but then maybe they weren't mature enough to handle, or like maybe they had failed to anticipate certain things. But sometimes value feedback is equally of the same measure, because it makes you go back, revise,
to be
review.
honest, because I worked as a pre-seed investor,
Yeah.
we don't expect that first version of your product to be perfect.
Yeah.
We actually expect you to pivot in the second year. We expect you to change. You're like, this is not working for us.
Yeah.
And
I
we're
like that.
changing to this.
Yeah. So
we expect that to happen. 100%.
Yeah.
I like that, because I think a lot of people think that I've given them this, I have to stick within this box.
Yeah.
The market will shock you.
Oh, yeah.
You can build a product and then the market tells you. Allow me to use this example. OnlyFans, the person that built it did not build it for what it is, but the market just uses products.
Absolutely.
They'll just decide.
I'm sure that wasn't
crazy.
They just decide this is how we're using this product.
Mhm.
And a lot of products, when you launch, that happens.
Yeah.
And it's just up to you to now pivot and work with the market and build with the market in mind.
Correct. Correct. So I was gonna say about tech is here. It's changing everything so quickly and so fast. It's almost like impossible to catch up. And then there's another conversation around economics. So inflation, roaming, recession. So the spending power of customers is really reducing or changing. So as someone who wants either launch something, tech-enabled driven innovation, what will be your quick insight for them to be able to implement, or what's that magic wand that you've seen?
I would say
work?
different sectors work with different business models.
Right.
If you're building a fintech, it's very easy to acquire customers like one-on-one. But if you're building, say, an agri-tech, just go and partner with a cooperative. They've already aggregated customers for you.
Right.
So you just partner with them. You don't have to think of 1,000 people to onboard.
Right.
You already have 1,000 people.
Okay.
In Kenya, M-Pesa has made it very easy for us. Safaricom has made it very easy. If you have Safaricom as a partner, all these people are potential customers. Yeah, so
That's true.
Yeah, or Airtel or any telco.
Yeah.
Because these are the people that aggregate customers in this country. And then with Africa, it's community.
Yes,
it's just,
love that approach.
I know WhatsApp sounds very primitive, but incorporate WhatsApp in what you're building. It's sometimes when people click on your site and they're like, I want what Africans want is because trust is an issue.
Yeah.
They want to be able to call someone. They want to be able to reach out to an individual, and so WhatsApp provides for that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have an office where someone can
True.
That's the challenge.
Interesting.
So it could be a bot chatting with them or whatever, but it gives them some form of comfort
That connection.
that I'm using WhatsApp to buy this thing.
Absolutely.
Also because there's a guy I met through an innovation thing I was doing, and he said building an app isn't the way to go first. Building it through an existing app like WhatsApp is the better way, because no one's deleting WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But when your phone gets full, you start to look at what apps you have in me.
You're not using very
and you delete.
uninstall.
And you've just
That is true.
confirmed even just something that we need to do about like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. As we're almost coming to a wrap, like we want to also tap into your mindset. What's the mindset that you have to stay on top of the game? Because you're leading in VC world. You're leading in women in tech. You're that babe. After you go, we will be robbing you.
Yes.
Some days I have it together. Some days I don't. But through this, I just maintain beauty. I'm just sometimes like, what else can you do? You had a tough day, what else can you do? You're human, you just maybe take some time off, just stay away from your laptop for 1 hour, 2 hours, recharge, and then you'll go back. People will always be okay. And I was also sharing with the ladies that I don't feel the urgency for things anymore. When you're asking me about my phone, yes, I will respond to the text when I'm able to. I will respond to the email when I'm able to. I no longer feel that anxiety that I have to respond right now.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful mindset. I think we are always
go.
Busyness. But I think you'll just burn yourself to the ground.
It takes a toll on you. People will be okay. Oh, I need that document now. No, you don't need that document now.
If you needed it, ask last week.
Right? Why are you asking last minute?
Like our beautiful matatu drivers, they're always in a hurry. Oh God!
I can't believe you call them beautiful, but
yeah. Well, I was like, I have to make a beautiful relationship with the matatu because I don't want road rage. I don't want to have autoimmune diseases because of stress. It's okay. You want to go? Yeah,
just pass.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
What in terms of, because we are all about. Well, the three of us actually are aligned in terms of shifting the narrative for women. What kind of future would you want for women, either from the business world, because from the investment point of view, and from the women in tech, and what legacy would you want to see for women in tech and Africa and VCs, investment, business?
A lot more female decision makers, because then that becomes a lot easier for them to open doors for other women that are coming up. There's a founder that was sharing that she went to a pitch and she was expectant, and the male investor asked a very insensitive question: what will happen to your business now when you give birth? And I feel like a woman would probably not ask that kind of question. Or would be sensitive enough not to
ask that.
Yeah. And you'd be shocked. He probably wrote her off because she was expectant.
Yeah, because he probably had an ROI timeline.
And that's all he cares
about.
about.
And he was thinking 9 months she gonna be out. She ain't gonna have that energy. And the person maybe who's gonna work for her. So he was doing all these calculations.
Right.
But that's so wrong. That's also a very wrong thing to do. Just on a human level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at Cheryl when she was at is it Facebook or Google?
Yeah.
I think they started having like a year-long maternity leave. But I don't think a guy would think
zero.
Zero. You just be struggling with, you want to pump milk, you want to go back to a meeting. So I would want to see a corporate environment where you have a lot more female decision makers.
Yes. So that they can cater for the female needs.
Things are not being,
at a cross-continent level. So, of course, you talk about the mindset in West Africa, our passive-aggressive mindset. So what would you, what are your current priorities, especially as women in tech or the Kenyan chapter? And I know you do a lot of cross collaborations with other chapters. What would you want to see happen continentally when it comes to tech, women in BC and all these progressive platforms that are possible for us?
I would say it's maybe also build products that can scale, not just in Africa, but to other emerging markets and even to Europe and to the US. And that cross-border engagement will allow for this. Like if I've built a fintech, you've built a health tech, how do I become a wallet on your, on your app or that kind of thing?
Okay.
So that you don't have to now figure out this, this other aspect of your business. The summit at which we launched Women in Tech was actually Pan-African, and we had a lot of ladies coming around from across the continent. So beyond just even the work stuff, and it was just it was a nice support system, right? We were able to talk about. It was like therapy, right?
True.
We were able to talk about things that affect us as women in tech, women in investments. How do we navigate all of that? Of different, age groups, the ones that are a lot younger are able to learn and tap into what the older ones have been able to achieve so far. Yeah, so I'd want to see a lot more of that cross-border collaborations. Yeah.
Interesting. How can people connect with you, Yula or Women in Tech, and become part of the community?
On LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I think LinkedIn is the easiest one. Florence Yula on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Awesome.
It has been such a pleasure learning, connecting with you. You've also affirmed me. There are certain things that you've said. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're on the right track in our thinking. And I believe even just from the things that you've shared, a lot of people are going, mindsets will shift a little bit and to see themselves as they deserve to be in the room.
Yeah. But before we even let you go, last, one book that you recommend to a founder, a woman founder, on either psychology, how things work, or basically how business works. Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I know I love Noah Harari.
Yeah,
but no, that's I would say Cheryl Book's book. What's the name of that book?
Lean In?
Lean In, yes.
Her favorite too.
Yeah, she's one of my inspirations as to how I found myself where I found myself.
Yeah. So earlier on, you had asked me another question, and sometimes I also have those questions like, am I meant to be in this world? Sometimes, you can have a very tough founder meeting or a meeting and you feel some type of way about something that they said about, or they were being dismissive.
Right.
Like I saw a post today, and the founder was saying that when investors sit with us at one-on-ones, they're not sensitive to our plight. I'm like, but that's the approach I would use, and founders were not appreciative of it. Because you're trying to tap into your sensitives. So what kind of math did you have? Like, no, they just want you to go there, ask me what my revenue is, so I can walk out of there. So I'd walk out of those meetings feeling, is this the right space for me?
Right.
And she's one person that I would go, so I would want to get to a point where I can influence the politics around an organization enough to make
to shift.
Right.
It's small things like my background is engineering. I was a site engineer before I pivoted to venture capital. You'd go to site and there's no washroom because it's just mostly men. So they can just use a bush.
No.
And you're there. Like, so how am I supposed to do my job? And I'm worried about how I'm going to change my pad or, so anyway, I would want to get to a point where I can influence politics the same way she was able to do that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Wow. Can you imagine?
I know, I don't want to.
Or oil rig.
No, I've just thought even about being on your period. Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't go to the bush. You can't.
Yeah.
So possible.
Menstrual cups at that point.
But what if you live on the camp?
I know. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. I think just before we go, I think one book I've rather read that has changed the way I think around business is Deep Work. So Carl Port. So he talks about the quality time. Like, you don't have to be on production creativity mode all the time. Even the biggest artists and biggest innovators of our time, they would retreat. Even Einstein, he would retreat and he would go somewhere in the mountains just to be, to have that deep work, phase or season. And I think it's something really beautiful, and people don't have to feel like they have to be in creation mode all the time. Sometimes, retreat, and you never know where the inspiration will come, in the middle of Mount Kenya.
Yeah, and also I think what I would add is learn your productive hours and work at the time of your productive hours, and try and do, if the most intense things, like if it's a meeting, try to do them in your productive hour time, as opposed to doing it when your mind is already sucked dry and whatever, because then it will come across. It will show in your presentations. It will show in the work that you're presenting. It will show in the meeting. So try and do what you love and what needs your time the most during your most productive hours, and the things that don't need so much energy on your like lower time.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, it's been wonderful having
We
a
had a great
conversation.
time.
I love your
Thank
energy. I
you
just
so
have to
much.
say that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for everyone who's overreacted with us. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your book? What's the book that you read that has helped you either navigate your life, navigate your career path, whether it's business or even working for someone? Whatever it is, we'd love to know, because maybe we could read it and also share our reviews.
Absolutely.
You can continue following us at Sister Speaks 254 on all social platforms at OVAReact Podcast, and to be able to catch up on previous episodes and also this one when it drops out.
Absolutely. And we can't wait to have you on the Women in Tech branch. This is where, all women who are in tech or planning to break in tech will converge. We'll have inspiration from the leaders in the tech space, and we'll be talking about cybersecurity, AI. You're going to, of course, interact with Yula, and of course, watch live demos for women who are innovating within that space of tech. So make sure that you check the tickets on www.sisterspeaksglobal.org, and then Women in Tech Kenya chapter website as well, and then our social, which is Women in Tech on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and our socials as well. So if you deserve or want to be part of the event, comment. You never know, you might come, you and your friend, to the Women in Tech branch happening on the 9th of August 2025. See you there.
See you there indeed. So we usually like to end collectively.
Okay.
So I'll say, ladies, let's overreact, and you'll join us in saying overreact. Are you ready? Okay. Thank you for tuning in, and now it's time for us to sign out. Ladies, let's
Overreact.